Tausret is top faction in Pharaoh, and in this video we will review every unit of her roster. You can always pause the video to read more about abilities and unit stats, or click timestamps in the description below. Without further ado, let's start the review right now. Egyptian Peasants will be your core infantry in early game. They are an excellent chargers and fodder, pretty cheap and great support for your chariots. Bring them in large numbers, even in multiplayer battles. Egyptian Swordsmen should be skipped for now because they are not strong enough in current meta and they will really need to be aspired all the time to be average. Egyptian Spearmen are defensive enough to hold line, they can eat some arrows and you should aspire them. Personally, I would prefer bringing 2 Peasants instead because of more aggressive playstyle, but I can assure you that these guys are not that bad as Spearmen in other rosters. And now we have one of the most overpowered units in the game. Egyptian Axemen have brutal stats, solid weapon, and they can get aspired on top of that. This will be your core frontline for both manual and auto-resolve battles. Queen's Guard is sadly having weaker melee stats, so you shall use it as a flanker because of flank attack improved, and then use Heroic Advance for extra defense. Tausret is having 2 versions of same Egyptian archers. These ones are having small shield and one-handed club, so they will be better at skirmishing versus other missiles. Their missile damage output is average as other archers. And this version is having 2-handed axe as a melee weapon, so it will be better against shielded units. As with other missiles, they all have lower melee stats, so use them in close combat when you run out of ammunition or as a last resort. Javelin Chariots are the cheapest chariots in the game and you shall use them for your advantage. Always use them with Egyptian Peasants because they cannot grind on their own. Quickly pull away after each rear charge and if possible, task them to delete routed enemies. Archer Chariots are better skirmishing option because of higher range, so you don't need to be that careful. Rather try to spend all ammunition and delay your charging, as these are quite squishy as well. Elite Javelin Chariots are throwing stronger javelins, but you have less models than previous version. They are not here for missile duels, but for more riskant rear chargers, because they have much higher charge bonus and other stats. And now the reason why Tausret is top tier faction. Seneny light chariots are super fast, maneuverable, 200 range would be the selling point for majority of you, but for me it is good melee stats and charge bonus. When you spend a lot of micro to cycle charge them, you will earn a lot of value, but you need to be quick and careful to do that. The same is true for Seneny Chariots. I can deal nice damage to isolated enemy and not to get hit in return. It is amazing. You can use them as melee chariots, but please pull them right away from infantry. Sooner is better. Light version is more fragile and skirmishy than this one. Now a quick recap of the roster. In early game you will spawn Peasants, in mid game your frontline core will be Axemen, and in late game you will replace cheap chariots with Seneny variants. Other units are optional, they gotta use, and it will be up to you to complete this army composition. If you played Tausret, please comment how it went for you, what advices you have for others, or give a like if you want to see more videos like this one. That is all, have a nice day and see you later.